Now take these. Breakfast.
Well, have we got heaps to freeze?
Long socks. It's a bit chilly today. Can you believe it? And it might have stopped raining. Woo! Sunday. In the garden. It's another Sunday session. Got the what I call the rain machine up obviously today. It's been raining overnight again. It's pretty much been raining since we decided that we were going to stay in the Northern Rivers back in mid-November. Queensland's literally 10 minutes that way, get to Queensland. It's just been rainy. And I know the last bloody probably 4 episodes, I just talked about rain. You get magazines such as, Better Homes and Gardens, Real Living, and they don't show the stuff that is, a real garden. They don't show the mess. They've had a gardener go through it, and they don't show what it's really like to have a garden. Anyway, that's Harry's doing down there. Last week, I actually started to sow these seeds. I'm going to move them away from here, but some of the seeds that come up, these are, what are they? That's why you need to label your stuff, so then you remember what you did. But these, I can tell from the look of them that they're silver beet. I'm going to move them over to the side. One of my next projects is actually to build a little greenhouse to start propagating, because I want to grow more stuff. The roses, I'm going to plant them today. They're rose from cuttings that I had in this space here. Actually, there's like 4 or 5 roses. They look really tired, so I just took cuttings of them. Now, out of the, I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cuttings. Only 3 of them have taken 3. I left this guy. This was just a compost tomato. How good are they? These cherry tomatoes, it's producing. I didn't even plant it. I have no idea how it got there, but they're always, isn't natural selection amazing? So I'll be lucky to see them at all myself. I reckon Olive's going to eat them. We have the Tangelos. Let's see how we go. One of the problems of having Southern Italian descent, we're very short. I just think nature's amazing, okay? So citrus trees generally put out their fruit in winter when you really need a high dose of vitamin C. So I'm gonna go put these peels into the worm farm. One of the biggest misconceptions is that you can't feed your worms citrus or onions, that they don't like it. It's not true. Realistically, they will eat it. They just don't like it in large quantities, like anything. If you give it too much, it tends to be an issue, but you can definitely give your worms citrus. So this worm farm got absolutely drenched in the last rains. It was underwater. Pretty much most of my worms drowned. So what I ended up doing is I grabbed some of the worms out of my compost, and I've given them some bedding material to start up this worm farm again. Because worm castings are amazing for your garden if you can create them yourself. So you can purchase them from your local nursery. However, if you can make it on site, even better. And I'm just going to pick some more passion fruit. We'll just do that. I'm just looking forward to spending the day in the garden. Yeah. Because the intention of these beds predominantly is to provide me with all the leafy greens. Because when I've got a limited space, I'm renting here, and I don't want to dig up the whole yard, but the whole idea of growing food here is not to be self-sufficient, it's actually to subsidise. So the whole idea is that by planting out these beds, I should never have to actually buy lettuce and leafy greens. So that's my intention. The biggest problem with the rain at the moment, it's been really hard to get some succession with what I'm planting. Anyway, so I'm going to do that. I planted out some rocket in that bed over there the other day. My little tip is to use sand to sort of showcase where you've sown. The other thing though is that the rocket seed that I purchased, I just got from the local hardware store, which is great. But just to let you know, most of the seed that actually you purchase here in this country is actually imported from overseas, which means that much of the legislation now and requirements is that that seed needs to be treated with a fungicide. So when you open up a packet and you see it's got this blue or pink tinge over the actual seed, it's the fungicide and it stops it from rotting. Not ideal though when you're wanting to have organic plants, but you know, it's not the end of the world, and I'll deal with that because the next thing is to save your own seeds. So that's why, if you have a look here, I've kept my lettuce. Now this has sort of come to the end of its life, but I'm going to save those seeds. So I've let it go to flower, and I've got those tiny little seeds, really easy to do. Find it, the best way is just to grab a paper bag, put it over the top, let them dry out, and then that way they drop into the paper bag. The other reason I let this stuff go to seed is because it's great for bringing in beneficial insects into the yard. So, I'm never going to be self-sufficient, but I am going to produce something for my plate every day, and that's my aim, okay? Whether it be fresh herbs or leafy greens, that's what I'm concentrating my energy on. So I'm going to be sowing some more seeds. Please hit me up with any questions. Feel free to follow me on Instagram as well. I'm always doing hot tips there. But you know, put comments below and subscribe to the channel. Much appreciated. But one of the beauties of spending time in the yard is that it just makes you feel good.